Welcome back to topic 4.1. We are going to be talking about factoring a trinomial with a leading coefficient. So this is what I call this is the magic X and box method. So first of all, what I mean by leading coefficient is that there is a number in front of your x squared. When we were doing this before, our number in front of our x squared was always a 1. So we didn't have a leading coefficient. So that's what a leading coefficient is. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking our first term times our third term and multiplying them together. That's what's going to go in the top. We were really doing that before, we just had a 1 in front, so we've always really done that. And then the number that's in the middle is going to go in the bottom just as it did before. Then I'm going to set up this box over here. In this box, I'm going to put the a followed by the x squared here. I'm going to put the c in the bottom right, okay? Then I take whatever I got in the magic x, and those become the other two places. It doesn't matter what they are, and I'm always going to follow them by what's in the middle. Okay, so it doesn't matter what places those are. And this box is just going to act like a multiplication table, okay? You may have, coming up through elementary or middle school, heard it as the area model. That's all it is an area model. All right, so let's try this out. So I notice I've got a trinomial. I notice I've got a leading coefficient. I always start every trinomial with a magic x. I'm going to multiply 3 times -7, so -21, and I'm going to put the 20 in the bottom. I need two numbers that multiply to -21 and add to 20. So I'm going to go 21 and -1. Then I notice I have a leading coefficient, so I need to use a box. I'm not going to write my box super tiny because I have to get stuff in there. Top left-hand corner is 3x squared. Bottom right-hand corner is -7. Then I put whatever I got in the magic x in there. So 21 followed by an x and -1 followed by an x, and the two that are in light blue can be reversed. Then this is the important part. I need to find factors of this first box because I'm going to undo it. I ask myself, what times what is 3? Well, I notice 3, it's 3 times 1. So I think about putting my 3 on the top. If I put my 3 on the top, will it divide nicely into -1? It won't. So I am going to try it on the other side. If I put 3 here, will it divide nicely into 21? It will. So 3x divided into 21x is 7. Then I ask myself, x divided into -1x is -1. Then the nice part about this box method is it checks itself. -1 times 7 is -7. So I cannot leave my answers on the box. I'm going to rewrite it as 3x minus 1 times x plus 7. I can also write the reverse of that, so I could have also written x plus 7 times 3x minus 1. It doesn't matter the order. All right, let's try this again. So I notice I've got a trinomial. I'm going to multiply my first and my third together, which is 30. And then I'm going to put the middle one in the bottom. I'm going to ask myself what two numbers multiply to 30 and add to -17. So -15 and -2. I can't just write my answers off the magic X because I have a leading coefficient, so I know I've got to get out the box. So top left-hand corner is 5x squared. Bottom right-hand corner is this 6. Then I'm going to use what I got in the magic X, followed by X's, does not matter the order. These two other boxes, the order does matter. Now I'm going to ask myself, what times what is 5? 5 times 1 is 5. So I'm going to divide 5, or I know 5 divides into the 15, not into the 2. So I'm going to put the 5 on the left side and 1x on the right side. How many times does 5x divide -15x? -3. How many times does 1x divide -2x? -2. -2 times -3 is +6, so it checks out. So I have 5x minus 2 times x minus 3. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do these other two here. So I'm going to do trinomial, leading coefficient, I'm going to try a magic x. So I need to multiply my first and my third together, so I get 8. In the bottom, I get -9. Two numbers that multiply to 8 and add to -9 would be -8 and -1. I have a trinomial with a leading coefficient. I know I've got to get out the box. So top left-hand corner of the box is going to be 4x squared. Bottom right is going to be 2. Then I'm going to take whatever I got in my magic x and follow them by x's, does not matter the order. Then I have to ask myself, what times what is 4? One of the possibilities is 2. The problem is that 2 does not divide the 1, so I can't use 2 and 2. Let's try 4 and 1. If I put my 4 on the top, it does not divide the 1. But if I put the 4 on the side, it does divide 8. So I know that I'm going to use 1 and 4. 4x divides -8x, -2 times. 1x divides -1x, -1 times, and then I check it. -1 times -2 is 2. So I have x minus 2 times 4x minus 1. And then another one here, let's try this again. So I've got a trinomial. I know I'm going to use my magic x. So two numbers that, I'm going to multiply 9 times 4, which is 36. And I'm going to put a 12 in the bottom. Two numbers that multiply to 36 and add to 12 would be 6 and 6. Again, I have a leading coefficient, so I have to get out my box. I'm going to put the top left-hand corner is the 9y squared. The bottom right-hand corner is the 4. Okay, then I'm anything from the, let's find a totally different color. What I got in the magic x, followed by a y, does not matter the order. And it doesn't matter what variable we use there. This time it happened to be y instead of an x. And then I ask myself, what times what is 9? First thing that comes to mind is 3. So I'm going to try 3 and 3. So I ask myself, how many times does 3y divide 6y? Twice. How many times does 3y divide 6y? Twice, so the 3 and the 3 worked. And then our check is 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to write that as 3y plus 2 times 3y plus 2. But it's the same factor, so I'm going to be super cool and write it squared.